when does it end that fear stops controlling your life? Like, when does it end when fear is guiding your life in a negative way? Because fear can help your life. Fear can be a compass. But so many of us, man, we live in freaking fear, man. We live in fear of the uncertainty. We live in fear of not making decisions. And we keep our whole entire life in a place, man, in a season that is not supposed to be in. Some of us, we stuck on a chapter. We've been stuck in a chapter. I'm going to be real with you. I know it's early and I'm kind of fired up, but we've been stuck in a chapter for years because of fear. And God don't give us a spirit of that, man. God don't give us a spirit of fear. You know, I just told a story, an analogy, and I'm going to say it right now about my son and about fear and what fear taught me and what the situation taught me. So Tristan, you know, he's a daredevil, man. Like, he'll do anything physically. He'll jump out of a plane. He will do anything. Like, he's my dude that we do crazy stuff with ever since he was little years old. Adventures, experiences, he does it. But when it comes to, like, spooks, when it comes to Halloween, when it comes to zombies and monsters, that ain't his thing. Right? He don't like those things. And I was like that when I was growing up too. And I remember being at Six Flags. I have a message with this, like, so stay on here. I remember being at Six Flags. You know, we go to Fright Fest out here in Six Flags over Texas. And I remember a particular year we were there. And I was like, okay, Tristan gonna be tripping. He didn't want to go at night. Like, he was damn near crying. Like, I don't want to go, blah, 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 this and that. And so he's walking through the park. And if you walk through the park, you know, they got zombies and monsters there, you know, roaming around throughout the park. And Tristan would hide behind me. Like, you could literally smell fear. Like, those, and then those zombies would, like, find him. Those vampires would creep up around him and scare him because it gave them excitement to be able to inject fear, right? And I told Tristan, I said, hey, man, as long as you keep hiding and running from fear, fear is going to chase you. Fear is going to find you. These people in here are going to keep messing with you because it's fun for them because they see that you're scared. I said, even when you're scared, bro, it's okay to be scared, but courage isn't courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the ability to walk through fear even when you're afraid. It's the ability to face fear even when you're scared. That's courage. And I said, you gotta have some courage because you'll never get through this. You'll never fix it if you never face it. So he kept on hiding behind me, kept on getting freaked out, wanting to leave, dropped his hot dog one time, all of these things. Maya was asleep, and this zombie comes up and takes a picture of Maya because she's asleep. We show Maya to this day. Like, she's like, what happened? I was asleep. Well, she was little. She didn't know she was asleep. So we took a picture, and the zombie stopped and said, hey, little man, you want me to tell you a secret? If you want us to stop messing with you, stop hiding behind your dad. And he walked away. And Tristan said, what does he mean by that? And I said, what he meant was, face your fear. Walk out. Show him that you're not afraid. Because that guy said before he left, he said, that's why we don't mess with your dad. We see confidence in your dad. I don't know if your dad's afraid or not, but we ain't about to mess with your dad. And at that moment, Tristan, even though he was afraid, he started to realize, man, if I just walk. We did at Universal Studios out there in Orlando. If I just walk and actually just walk out there and just walk with my chest out, then a lot of these people aren't going to mess with me. And that's what happened. You might say, what does that have anything to do with my life? What does a Fright Fest have anything to do in my life? This is what I'm going to tell you, man. A lot of us are acting like Tristan. A lot of us are running from fear. A lot of us are hiding from fear. A lot of us won't face fear. A lot of us are being paralyzed by fear. We're doing all those things, man, with fear. And fear is just chasing us. Fear is keeping us in a place that we're no longer supposed to be in anymore. Right? Fear is keeping us from making decisions that are right for our life that we know we need to make in our life. And a lot of us are staying in those places in our life because of that. It has to get to a place where you face your damn fear, man. It has to get to a place that you have to know that fear actually can be a compass that leads you to something better, that leads you to something greater, that leads you to the greatest version of yourself. As they say, false evidence appearing real. So I want to come on this live right now and just let you know that it has to end. Right? You can't stay in the familiar because you're afraid of the unfamiliar. When I talk about the familiar pain, the familiar stagnation, the familiar, some of us, we're in the same place, man. It's Groundhog Day, doing the same things, staying in the same habits because it's comfortable. Because some of us are so afraid of the uncomfort. We're afraid to do something different. We're afraid to do something new. Some of us would rather stay in the known, even though the known sucks, than try to better our life because we're so afraid of the unfamiliar that we stick with what's familiar. And I'm going to tell you right now, you've heard me say this. If you want to change your life, if you want to grow your life, you have to live outside of your comfort zone. Because that's where change takes place. You have to be willing to grow. You have to be willing to let go. You have to be willing to lose. You got to be willing to be embarrassed. You got to be willing to walk through. I'm literally doing one of the biggest fears in my life right now. As a speaker, this was my biggest fear. And I know you can't feel it because I've been so consistent at it the last few years that this fear has turned into faith. This fear has turned into strength. This fear has turned into confidence. But this was my fear. Literally. And some of you can't even believe it because you're like, ain't no way, Trent. Ain't no way. You're extra. Ain't no way. Because you're experiencing me now. But if you go back and watch my old videos, you can even smell the fear. But I decided to keep facing it. Because I knew if I didn't face it, I will never fix it. I knew if I didn't face it, I will never get past it. I knew if I didn't face it, I will never get over it. I will never change it. And I faced it. And I kept facing it. So it got to the point where that fear lost its power. It got to that point where that fear turned into courage, where that fear turned into strength. And you know how I did that? By consistently showing up, by consistently not backing down, by consistently making the hard choices, by consistently making the hard decisions in my life. And some of you say, Trent, how do you have confidence in making decisions when fear is amidst in your presence? I have confidence because I know this, man. And it's this simple. 3 words. 3 words that I told myself in the midst of my biggest fears on stage. 3 words that I told myself in letting go of football and moving something from this that's familiar in my life. 3 words that I tell myself, and I want you to write down these 3 words. I want you to write down these 3 words on your mirror. I want you to write down these 3 words. Get it tattooed if you want. I want you to write down these 3 words in your car. I want you to write down these 3 words so you see it every single day. And this is a reminder for me that I was not created to walk in fear, that I will not be a human being of fear, that I will not back down to fear. I will stand up to fear until fear surrenders. Because I ain't surrendering with fear. I'm not retreating from fear. I'm not. Because fear is a compass that tells me where I need to go. If you have the fear of speaking, it probably means that you need to speak. If you have the fear of leaving a situation, it probably means that you need to leave it. If you have a fear of going for your dreams, it probably means that you probably need to go for that thing that you're fearing. Because on the other side of fear is the next level of you. On the other side of fear is something greater for you. And this ain't no motivational, inspirational talk. This is real. And some of us, we live our whole life in fear. Somebody on Instagram said, I lived 31 years of fear. It ends now. I don't care if you've been living 52 years, 72 years. I don't care if you've been living a year. It ends now. We're not living in fear no more. We're not living in the fear of somebody abusing us. We're not living in the fear of any of that no more. None of that. We're going to stand up for ourselves. We're going to get the help that we need. We're going to reach out to the people we need to reach out to. We're going to build the connections we need to build. Because life is too short to be experienced in fear when it's meant to be experienced in faith. 3 words that I tell myself, man. God got me. In the midst of fear, I know God got me. In the midst of anxiety, when I'm on stages speaking to thousands of people, when I feel like, oh my gosh, like what am I doing here? When I'm self-sabotaging, God got me. In the midst of making hard decisions for my life or investments, business decisions, man, I'm afraid. I'm like, should I do it? God got me. God got me. And I know if God got me, who can be against me? I know if God got me, who can stop me? What can stop me? Nothing. Because I know that God is always working out what is meant for my life. Always working out what is meant for my soul. Those 3 words is God got me. And some of y'all, man, that's basic, Trent. That's easy. Like, why would I say that? Why would I say that? Those words will trigger something in your soul that will bring confidence in the midst of your fear. I'm telling you, when I deal with fear, even when I be online with y'all sometimes fear comes up. I don't know where it comes from sometimes, but God got me. Just tell myself, God got me. Sometimes I press live. I'm like, man, what do I have to say to these people? Like, man, I got to talk for 20 minutes, 15 minutes. What am I going to say? Like, what if God got me? Man, is my family going to be okay? Like Maya going through a situation last year, man, God got me. God got us. And when you truly believe that, fear can't win. It can't win. And it's been winning too long in your life. That fear that shouldn't be winning at all, it's been winning too long in your life, y'all. You've been getting upset by fear for far too long, and it stops today. It stops. It stops. So I need you to make a decision, to decide that fear is no longer going to paralyze your life. No longer going to paralyze your life. Because, listen, this is common sense, right? But some of us, I've been there before. I had a friend that tell me the reason I won't change because I'm afraid of something different. I'm afraid of something different. And I get it. Different is very fearful, right? As human beings, we like to be comfortable in certainty. So different is very difficult. But I want you to think for a moment as I told this person, damn, I get doing something different is scared, bro. But man, staying in a place that I know ain't good for my life, I'm way more afraid of that. So how you gain leverage in making decisions for yourself, right? And this is tactical things that you can use. How you gain leverage in making decisions for yourself is simply understanding what fear is worse. The fear of change or the fear of staying the same. The fear of uncertainty or the fear of negative certainty. A certainty that you know what it is. That you know this ain't where you're supposed to be at. That you know if you change nothing, nothing is going to change in your life. And you're going to live Groundhog's Day. And you're going to live 31 years, 60 years, the rest of your life in the same misery that you're in right now. And I told myself years ago, I refuse to die miserable. I refuse to die miserable. If I fail in making decisions, I know I can still get back up. Failure isn't the end. Failure isn't fatal. Failure isn't final. Failure is nothing but feedback. Some of us, we're afraid to make decisions because we're afraid to look stupid. We're afraid to fail. We're afraid to be embarrassed in front of people. We're afraid to leave the familiar. I get it. But just pick your poison. Because I knew in my life, bro, how I was living every single day and being comfortable in that, I knew that was a problem. I knew that was a recipe for regret in my life. I knew it was a recipe for regret in my life. Cassandra, I'm praying for you, man, with cancer. Maybe you can find somebody that will help you see the world. And I would tell you, man, that's a beautiful thing to do. I don't have the answer for you, but maybe you can find somebody, reach out to somebody and help you see the world and go live your life. You know, and I understand what fear of falling down. You know, it's crazy because this is common sense for a lot of us, right? But sometimes as parents, right, we see our kid and we have a fear for them falling down. Like, man, I don't want them to fall. But you know that at some point they got to fall so they can understand how to stand. They can understand how to walk. You know, you always tell them, man, get back up, get back up. And you let them fall down, you let them stumble, you let them figure it out. And it's the same with your life. Thinking that you're not going to fall down is crazy when you're trying to do something, learn something new, or make decisions in your life. I fell down plenty of times in this journey with my foot. I mean, y'all see I got me a little pad on my scooter, but I fell down multiple times in the last few weeks. But now I can confidently say, and I was excited last night, a lot of you know, I can actually stand and take a few steps. I can actually take a few steps, y'all. And I know that seems minor to so many people, but I haven't been able to walk for the last 4 weeks. And I finally took a step, and it was an ugly step. It wasn't a beautiful step, but I took a step. And there was an opportunity for me to fall and taking that step. But I told myself, if I fall, hell, I'm going to get back up. And now, the last 2 days, I haven't failed. So now I am eliminating the fear more and more because I'm consistently showing up against my fears. Does that make sense? I'm consistently facing my fear of falling. Now that fear of falling is being minimized every single day. And my courage is being maximized every single day. Because I'm deciding to face my fear. And I know it seems so minor, the fear of walking, right? But that's the point I'm trying to make to you. It's time for us to minimize those fears by showing up and facing those fears every single day, my friend. I want to say I'm proud of you. I want to say I love you. I want to say I salute you for your journey and where you're at. Because some of us, we're so focused on where we got to go that we don't realize how far we actually came, right? We so fearful of how far we got to go. Like, dang, I got to go that far. I'm so afraid, but you don't realize how far you actually came. I salute you on your journey. I salute you for taking the step. I salute you for facing the fear. I salute you for trusting God. I salute you for knowing that God got you. I salute you, man. I salute you. I salute you. I salute you. I salute you for not giving up. I salute you for showing up. I salute you for trying to do better. I salute you for trying to grow with your life. I salute you. You know what I mean? Stop being so focused on the destination. Enjoy the damn journey. Have appreciation, man. And one way to lose appreciation is being focused on the destination. It's okay to look up and see where you're going at times. But at the end of the day, sometimes it's beautiful to look back to see where you came from. And a lot of you came from things that you shouldn't have survived from. A lot of you came from things that were trying to break you. A lot of you came from things that was meant to end you. But you still living. You still going. You still achieving. You still conquering. You still elevating. You still progressing. I'm proud of you, baby. So keep going. That's what I need you to do. I need you to keep going. However you stepping, whether you making major steps or minor steps, I need you to keep stepping. I need you to keep stepping. I need you to be that turtle. I need you to be that cheetah, however you going. Some days we cheetahs, some days we turtles, but one thing is for sure, we're going to keep on progressing. We're going to keep on stepping. So I need you to keep stepping. Stepping on fear, stepping on opposition, stepping on doubt, stepping on things that don't serve you, stepping on all those things. You keep stepping. You keep stepping. You know why? Because God got you. Because God got you. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in this morning. Thank you, for everybody that's watching this on replay. My ask of you down below is today's podcast is available. If you guys are listening to me right now, then you will love the podcast. I talk about how you know something is for you. A question I get all the time for the last decade. How do I know this person is for me? How do I know this dream is for me? How do I know this opportunity is for me? I answer that in today's podcast through my experiences in life. So make sure you listen to it below or anywhere you listen to podcasts, Spotify, iTunes. Just put in Straight Up by Trent Shelton. It's episode, I think 118. The last episode is called How You Know Something Is For You. You go to my website below, TrentShelton.com, and tap into it with the player that's on there, the podcast player. But yeah, if you can share this with somebody on your team, your coworker at work, you know, maybe you pick a part of this and be like, hey, listen to minute 3 to 6. Dang, it's a turtle right there, bro. Look, I'm talking about the turtle. Hey, look, look, I'm gonna see if I can zoom in. I can't zoom in over here. Can I zoom in? I can't. You see him right there on the fence? Right there, that's a turtle. Look at him. That's a turtle. How ironic is that? I just told you to be the turtle, and the turtle showed up. I don't know, man. Somebody need a confirmation. That's confirmation. All right. Love y'all.